They said he was lazy, unfocused, broken. Maybe he was. Until one night, everything changed. It was 2:37 a.m. 3 screens open, each playing a different video. Productivity hacks, brain optimization secrets. He wasn't watching any of them, just letting the noise play. On the desk, half-drunk coffee, crumpled to-do lists, tabs open from last week. A graveyard of intentions. He muttered, "I'm done," and meant it. The next video autoplayed, grainy, old, voice slightly distorted.
Tesla's real secret.
He hovered over skip, but it didn't click. And a quick note, if you're ready to upgrade your mind, subscribe to our weekly hacks newsletter for free weekly brain hacks. Now, months later, he sits in candlelight. The room has changed, not bigger, but quieter. He's surrounded by rows of notebooks, walls penned with diagrams and hand-sketched memory maps. Each piece of paper has weight, texture, meaning. He closes his eyes, speaks aloud.
Orchestrated objective reduction is a theory in quantum consciousness, proposed by Hameroff and Penrose. The idea is...
He explains it clearly, calmly, without notes. Not because he memorized it once, but because he taught it to himself a dozen different ways. But he wasn't always like this. Back then, he woke up every day beneath the weight of everything he'd already forgotten. A library of half-watched lectures, apps promising brain upgrades, all failed. He knew so much and remembered nothing. His confidence shattered every time he opened a new tab, new video, new hope. A therapist once said ADHD, another said trauma. His mom said just focus, but none of them said you're using the wrong tools. That video did. It introduced an idea he'd never heard spoken so plainly. Genius isn't talent, it's a technique. Tesla, Da Vinci, Feynman. They didn't just think differently, they learned differently. Da Vinci carried notebooks everywhere, drew his ideas, tied concepts to images. Feynman didn't wait to understand something, he taught it to himself out loud, over and over, until clarity came. Tesla visualized everything. He imagined devices rotating in space, fully formed. They all shared one thing: active learning. Analog, physical, spatial. So he printed a PDF, bought a blank notebook, lit a candle. Page 1, start here. The first attempt was humiliating. He tried the Feynman technique, chose a concept he thought he understood, entropy, tried to teach it out loud to no one. He froze, couldn't even define it. He labeled the gap hole number 1. Then he looked it up, wrote it again, taught it again, and slowly something clicked. He turned his apartment into a learning lab. Index cards on the fridge, memory palaces mapped onto his hallway, one concept per room, per object. The stove became Newton's first law, the closet, the hippocampus. Every night, he'd walk through his knowledge. He wrote by hand, always by hand. Typing is fast, he told himself, but memory is slow, and that's the point. He reduced concepts until he could explain them to a 10-year-old version of himself. Not just the what, but the why. That became the game. Every page had to earn its ink. Still, there was setbacks. One night, exhausted, he forgot a definition of cognitive load theory, something he'd studied 10 times. He snapped, tore pages, smashed a mug. Then he found an old card. Cognitive load equals limits of working memory. Use simplification to reduce strain. Break big into small. He read it, spoke it, and he remembered. He wept, not because it was profound, but because it had stayed. He began stacking methods, Feynman technique. Explain out loud, find the gaps, fill them, repeat. Memory palaces, assign space to meaning, walk through ideas. Spaced repetition, rotate topics, forget, relearn, strengthen. Journaling, not what he learned, but how he learned it. Wins, gaps, breakthroughs, analog everything. No digital apps, no scrolling, just ink, effort, space. His mind slowed, then sharpened. like a blade honed after years of rust. Even when friends mocked him. Dude, you're printing PDFs now? What is this, 1999? Even when they stopped calling, he kept going. Because for the first time, he could feel himself returning. He tested his progress by teaching others. They got it, and he did too. That night, he sat quietly and reread a page from one of his earliest journals. The handwriting was a mess, the ideas scattered, but it was his. It had started somewhere, and now, finally, it was real. Someone once asked, "So, you became a genius?" He shook his head. "No," he said. "I just remembered how to learn," and smiled.